Namaste, and welcome to your next class. This one is part of the cleansing series of videos, and today we're going to focus a little bit on some inversions. In other classes I've explained there are two different types of inversions. There's the heating inversion and the cooling inversion. So we're going to do three inversions actually today. One which we've already practiced before, which is headstand. So we're going to work a little bit more on headstand. We're going to work towards a handstand, and then we will complete with shoulder stand practice. Okay, so with the headstand practice, we're going to continue with working on dolphin pose first, and with the handstand practice, this is why I'm near the wall, because we're going to work against the wall for the handstand practice. For the headstand, we're going to work away from the wall. If you need to work towards the wall, then that's what you have to do, but we'll try to work away from the wall for the headstand. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of a warm-up first. Oh, and to explain, the reason why this is cleansing is any inversions, changing your position in gravity really helps to eliminate toxins in your body. Inversions are particularly good because they help to drain away your lactic acid. So your lactic acid will then drain into lymph nodes, so with your lymphatic fluids as well. So your lymph nodes are in, some of them are in the pelvis and some of them are in the armpits. So inversions help to drain lymphatic fluid into those areas, so that then they can be eliminated through waste material, like going to the toilet, or through sweat. This is how we eliminate some of the toxins in the body. But I'm not a biologist, so I could have got that a little bit confused, but that's my understanding. Okay, so we're going to start simple cross-leg position. Bring your hands in towards your heart. And we'll begin by chanting one Om together. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Cleansing exhale out the mouth. After your inhale, one Om. And then hands down onto the legs, keep lifting up the heart, let the shoulders drop down, start some deep breathing in and out through the nose. Starting to get into long deep breaths. Inhaling deeply through the nose, exhaling fully. Just feeling the breath at the back of your throat, starting to fill the chest from the top, the middle, the bottom. And then next inhale, take your right hand behind, left hand over your knee, stretch up tall, exhale, twist, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, come back to the center, and then left hand behind, right hand over the knee. Exhale, twist, look over the left shoulder. Inhale, come back to the center. Change the cross of the legs. So the other foot forward. And then bring your fingertips to the floor and exhale, walk your fingers forward. So lengthening from the lower back, move the chest forward. Keep peeling the shoulder blades down the back. And then walk your hands back in. So roll over your knees, come up onto your hands and knees, and we'll move into downward dog. You notice the teacher has turned up late, Pixie. You're late, Puss. Spread the fingers, tuck the toes, and exhale, lift the hips up, downward dog. And then just have a good stretch out in downward dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Move the hips from side to side. Work into the shoulders. Some kind of movement, wiggles, circles with the shoulders. We're going to be using the shoulders quite a lot, so let's loosen them up to start with. And then we'll make our way back to the front of the mat, step by step. Pull towards the legs, softly bend the knees, hands the hips, and then come up to standing. Okay, so we're going to not launch straight into our inversions. Let's go through some sun salutations first. Hands down to the side. Engage the thighs, lift the chest. Crown at the head, lifting up towards the sky. Inhale, lift your arms up, palms together, look up. Exhale, fold in towards the legs, and towards the knees. Inhale, lengthen away from the legs, look forward. Exhale, step back into down dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, drop the knees. Lower the chest down if you can avoid your cat. Inhale, lift the shoulders up and back. And then tuck the toes, exhale, lift the hips up. Downward dog. And hold it there. Heels drawing down towards the floor. Shoulder blades rolling out to the sides. Just let the head hang. And then next inhale, step or jump back to the front, extend away from the legs, look forward. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms to the sides. Inhale, lift and look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into legs or floor, look forward. Exhale, this time straight into a plank, lower down, chaturanga or the floor. Inhale onto the front of the feet, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, tuck the toes. Lift the hips up for downward dog. Nice long breaths in downward dog, just stretching through the backs of the legs, engage the thighs, let the shoulders draw out to the sides. And then next inhale, step or jump back to the front, extend away from the legs. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms to the sides. Start again, inhale, lift and look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen, look forward. Exhale into your plank. Lower down. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, downward dog. Press forward with your hands, back with your feet. Lengthen through the backs of the legs and the top of the spine. And then inhale, step or jump back to the front. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Look up. Exhale, arms to the sides. And we'll go again. Inhale, lift and look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen away from the legs, look forward. Exhale into your plank, lower down, chaturanga, or the floor. Inhale, lift the shoulders up and back. Exhale, downward dog. Just let the head hang, and again find that space in between the shoulders. And don't forget to use the quadricep muscles. Okay, next inhale, step or jump back to the front again. Fold in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, arms to the sides. Okay, one more. Inhale, lift and look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen away from the legs, look forward. Exhale, stepping back into a plank and lower down. Inhale onto the front of the feet, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the hips up, downward dog. Okay, and then come down onto your knees. We're going to go straight into our dolphin pose. If I can get the cat to move, maybe. Like it. Or not. Okay. So I'll work around the cat. With the dolphin pose, we're going to do 3 of these dolphin poses. First one. The distance you need between your elbows, you should be able to get one hand over your forearm, interlock your fingers, bring your little finger inside of your hands. So the little finger that's outside, bring it in. So that you've got then the sides of the hands, the wrist point, and the forearm all in one long line. So we're creating that triangle shape. And this first dolphin pose, we keep the feet apart, and we're going to keep it long. So thumbs together, lift the hips up, lift the heels up, let the head hang. I'm bringing my shoulder blades up towards the hips, even at this stage. 5 breaths here. And then come down onto your knees, arms down to the sides, have a rest in the child's pose, forehead to the floor. breath settle, let the blood pressure settle. So the next dolphin pose, we'll do the same thing, but this time we're going to bring the feet together and walk the feet in towards the head. So interlock the fingers again, elbows apart, this time toes touching, pressing the sides of the hands into the floor. Lift your hips up, lift your heels up, walk your feet in. So you're going to get to that point just before you have to bring your head to the floor, and then just hold it there. 5 breaths again. This one's going to be a little bit more effort. Okay, and the knees back down again. Sweep the arms down to the sides because you want to release your shoulders or after you've worked them. Forehead down. Okay, we're going to do another dolphin pose, and this time we're going to go backwards and forwards. So these are called dolphin push-ups. So interlock the fingers again. Forearms to the floor. I'm going to keep my feet apart this time and not walk my feet closely in. Thumbs up. Lift the heels up, lift the hips up. And we're going to inhale, exhale, bring the chin towards the thumbs. Inhale back. I'm doing 5 of these. Exhale forward, 2. Inhale back. Exhale forward, 3. Inhale back. Exhale forward, 4. Inhale back. Exhale forward, 5. Inhale back. And then another rest again. Forehead down. Okay, good. So after all of that, we should be ready for our headstand now. And like I said, I don't normally use a wall. I'm going to turn around towards the wall this time simply because I can't really go around the cat. So much of my yoga is about maneuvering around cats. There is a yogic lesson there somewhere. Okay. If you are using a wall and you want to come up towards the wall, I suggest coming away from the wall, maybe arm distance away from the wall, so that when you come up, you're not instantly just throwing yourself against the wall, but you know you have the wall there as support. So you can then just take your foot back towards the wall if you feel a little bit unsteady. So toes tucked. We're going to do the same with the arms that we did before. Palms of the hands are open. Lift the heels up. This time walking the head in towards the hands. And you'll have to get to this strong dolphin point. And then you'll have to bring the crown of your head to the floor. And the crown of your head, I'll show you this in a second, is at the top of your ears. You're going to take the hips back. Bring the knees in, press the sides of the hands into the head, and lift the feet up. Flex the feet, keep the navel drawing in. See if you can do at least 10 breaths. So you'll see what I mean about being near the wall. At least if you feel a bit unsteady, you can bring your foot to the wall. And then the knees come in towards the chest, roll down, and then come back down, making sure that you're releasing the pressure from your head. Okay, don't come up too quickly because you will feel a bit head spinny. So already I'm starting to feel cleansed because it's making me cough. Whatever is in my lungs is wanting to come out. So the crown of your head, if you think about the tops of your ears, and then you draw a line up to the top of your head, that's the crown of your head. The other way to look at it is find your fontanella, so your soft spot on the back of your skull. And then the thumb, the bit between the thumb nail and the joint of the thumb, it is from your fontanella, it is 2 thumbs in front. And that is the crown of your head. If you find you are, when you come down, the chin comes in towards your chest too much, you're going to lean into your neck too much, and that's going to feel uncomfortable. It's also going to feel unsafe. And one of the things we want to eliminate in a headstand is the fear factor. And if you bring your forehead too far forward, the same thing will happen. You'll bring your forehead too far forward, and then you'll come up, and then you'll think, oh, wow, pain in my neck. As soon as there is any pain in your neck, you come down instantly, because that's a big indicator for a no in this practice. So many parts of yoga positions, it's okay to feel uncomfortable, but sharp stabbing pains, and especially pains in your neck, definitely avoid them. Come out of the pose, whatever pose it is, change it somehow, because you know these bones are quite they're very special to us, and obviously the whole spine is what's keeping us as vertebrates. It's keeping us upright. Okay, so the spine and the skeleton is holding everything, every part of us, so we really need to respect that. Okay, so did you get that? That's the second, if you've been following all the courses, that's the second time you've done the headstand. So that's one thing, the headstand, and you can certainly practice that way. There's other things that you can do to practice. If you're really unsure about coming up, again, come towards a wall, get your hands in the right position, your arms in the right position, walk in, bring your head down. If you don't feel safe, just bring one foot up in towards your hips. And maybe even bring that foot to the wall, and then bring the other foot up, and lift your knees up. And then get your base right, so press your elbows into the floor, shoulder blades coming up. And if you really need to stay against the wall, just walk your feet up the wall. Okay, and then knees come in, and if you want, you can just step down. And once again, there was pressure on my head, so I need to release that. And then coming back up again. So some people say to me about headstand is they get afraid when they feel the pressure on the top of their heads. Well, there has to be some pressure on the top of your head. It is a headstand. So unless you have something really serious going on in your head and in your brain, then pressure on the top of your head should be okay. If you have serious neck injuries, you can do a headstand, same position with your arms, but keep your head lifted off the floor like a dolphin pose, and then come up with your feet towards the wall. So that's if you've got neck and shoulder issues, you want to keep the pressure off your neck completely. And these are kind of, you know, there's always an alternative, there's always a variation that we can practice. Okay, so the next pose I want to get into is the handstand. And we're going to do, this is called an L-shaped handstand. So this is a good one to test out your strength. People have their favourites, either a headstand or a handstand. I personally prefer a headstand, but many people prefer a handstand because there is no pressure on your neck and your head. Okay? But there is a lot of work happening in the shoulders. Okay, so with this L-shaped handstand, take your mat towards the wall. Take your legs out in front. Find where your heels are. Maybe you can draw an imaginary line on your mat. And this is where your hands are going to go. And we're going to keep the hands shoulder width. I'm sorry, Pixie. I'll move you a little bit. And then come up to a downward dog with your heels in towards the wall. Let the head drop. And then just bring one foot up the wall. So your heel is in towards your buttock and then your toes are against the wall. And then press into the wall. Straighten both the legs, bring the other foot up to create an L shape. And then I'm just going to look down towards the hands. Hold it here. It's quite strenuous. My arms are already wobbling. Keep pressing into the wall with your feet. Hold it as long as you can. And then step down again. Walk your feet a little bit away from the wall. And then just lean your hips into the wall and hang down. Okay, and then roll back up again. So that's your first step towards a handstand. And it's a good way to test out the strength in your body, strength in your arms and your shoulders. My arms were wobbling a little bit. I haven't done a handstand for a couple of weeks, so my arms were wobbling a little bit. That's okay. Arms wobbling or muscles shaking just means that something is working. So that's a good sign. So the next part of the handstand, if you can, you're going to jump up towards the wall. I'm going to tuck in a little bit because this is just going to fall down towards my face. So hands close to the wall, but not exactly close in as you think. Into a downward dog position. Step one foot forward, about halfway up the mat. This leg is now my spring. Okay, so I'm just going to bounce off my left leg. And it's my right leg that's going to come up. Now I might have to do this a couple of times, let's see. So it's a little jump and lift of the leg, okay? And then once you're up, just look towards your thumbs. So use your breath. And then a little hop, up, and again, hop. Once you're there, push your heels up towards the sky. Look towards the thumbs. Straighten the arms. If you do this with bent elbows, it's going to feel really weak. Stay up as long as you can. If you want, you can take your heels off the wall. Whoop. And then back down again. And just hang down. Okay, I'm going to do that one again. So it's always good trying this one again. There will be a point where it starts to feel more tiring than energizing, and that's the point. Maybe you stop, have a rest. So I'm going to start again. You can try both legs, the other leg forward. I'm going to stay with my left foot forward just because my cat is there. So I'm looking forward again. So I'm launching myself up with my right leg and I'm bouncing on my left leg. Pressing the hands, pressing the fingertips into the floor. And then inhale when you can and come up. Push the heels up the wall, press your hands into the floor, look towards your thumbs. If you want, you can lift your feet off the wall. And then again, when you're ready, step back down. I'm just going to take my bum to the wall again. And this time, hold on to elbows and hang down. I'm just going to have a little sway from side to side. And then just let the arms hang. And then come back onto your knees. Okay, so I think because some of this work is pretty tough on the shoulders and tough on the wrists, we're going to do a little wrist stretch. And we're going to do a shoulder stretch as well. Okay, with the wrists, come onto your hands and knees. And then let's just turn the right hand inwards. So the wrist is turning outwards. Now I've got very hyperextended joints here, so I'm not going to press into the elbow, I'm going to bring it back a little bit. And then I'm going to turn the left wrist forward and take a bit of pressure into both sides. And turn the right hand forward, keep the pressure on the left wrist. And turn the left hand forward. Okay, so the next part is to flip the hand, so you're on the top of the hand. And then just lean into the bones of that hand and you're going to feel kind of aching, dull ache. Then bring the thumb and the little finger together. And then bring all the fingers and the thumb together. Again, try not to press into the elbow joint. And then just wiggle the fingers and the thumb. Okay, and then release that hand forward and do the other side. So onto the back of the left hand. This one feels particularly sensitive to me. You're going to find that one side feels really quite sore and the other side doesn't feel too bad. And then bring the thumb and little finger together. All the fingers and the thumb together. And then wiggle the fingers and the thumb. And then release that hand. And then sit back onto your heels. Continuing with the wrist stretch. take your arms out in front with the palms facing up. Bring the thumb in, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Turn the palms of the hands down and then ease into the back of the wrists. And that feels really comforting. And of course you can use these wrist stretches not just after a handstand practice, but maybe after some work on a keyboard, or if you've been using your hands quite a lot in your job. So next, with our shoulder stretch, so I'm going to come up onto the hands and knees. Lift the right arm up, and then take the right arm underneath the left arm. Walk the left fingers forward, and then just walk your left foot out to the side and lean into your right shoulder. Okay, and then bring that foot back in. Lift your right arm up again. Both hands on the floor underneath your shoulders. Do the left side, so lift the left leg up. Post the left arm underneath the right arm. Walk the right fingers forward. Walk your right foot out to the side. Lean into your left shoulder. So you're going to lean into that shoulder to the point that you feel it opening up around the shoulder blade. And then walk that foot back in. Walk your hand back in. Inhale, lift the left arm up, open up. Exhale, both hands on the floor. Okay, so we've done our heating inversions. We're going to do a cooling inversion now. So we're going to do a shoulder stand, but I'm going to come up from Viparita Karani from the wall. And I'm just going to layer up a little bit. So when we're doing this with Viparita Karani, you need a bolster or maybe just a cushion for your hips. Okay, make sure you have nothing around the back of your neck that's going to disturb your neck and your shoulders when you come up. So taking the side of the body into the wall. You don't have to do this into a wall if you don't want to. You can also just do this on a cushion with your legs raised without the wall. So I'm taking the side of my body up into the wall, as close to the wall as I can. And then I'm going to swing the legs up the wall. And then lift the hips up and take the bolster underneath the lower back and the tops of the buttocks. And then take the arms down to the sides. This might be enough for you today. You might just want to stay here. It's a really wonderful pose to stay in. And again, this one is perfect for draining lactic acid and lymphatic fluid into your pelvis. If you're coming into a shoulder stand, we can do this from a restorative point of view. You can bend your knees, bring your feet to the wall, lift your hips up, shuffle the shoulder blades under, bring your hands onto your back, and you can either just walk your feet up the wall and hold it there, or you can bring your feet off the wall. So important thing to remember with the shoulder stand is not to turn your head once you're in the position, so don't turn to look at anything. Making sure that the shoulders are underneath, and then lift your chin up a little bit to take the pressure off the back of your neck. I prefer that we push into the heels. Some people do it with pointed toes, but I feel we're still working the legs. So lift the heels up. So we can hold this for 10 breaths. Generally this kind of inversion you can hold for 60 breaths, which is about 5 minutes. Once you're comfortable here, and comfortable usually means that your ankles are over your knees are over your hips, and your hips are over your shoulders. Somewhere around there. You can feel like you're just floating in space. Even though my legs are still working, I'm still supporting my back, so I'm still going to keep walking my fingers, the flesh from my shoulders up towards my hips. But because I'm in a line, there's so much less effort. Okay, when you come out of this, you can just bring your feet back to the wall and slide down the wall. Or you can take your legs back behind you into a plow pose. Not quite sure where the cat is. Put the toes, interlock the fingers behind your back. Push into your heels. And then slowly lower down. So post your spine back down onto the cushion, onto the bolster. Take the legs back up the wall. And then just relax, so let your feet drop out to the sides, palms of the hands facing up. You can stay here with your legs up the wall, or you can lie flat. So I'm going to do a little bit of both. I'm going to stay for a minute or two with my legs up the wall. And it's weightless. So now I've taken the effort out of my legs. I'm not working the muscles. I'm not working the muscles in the arms. We've done the work of the muscles. Just letting my feet flop out to the sides. And if you're warm, you can just stay here. So you can put some socks on, put a blanket over your legs. When you're coming down from Viparita Karani, and do feel free to stay in that position for the whole of Shavasana. When you are coming down, just bring your knees in towards your chest. Roll to one side off your bolster to come back up. And then if you want to lie flat, I suggest taking the bolster underneath the backs of your legs again. And I'm going to have to move a little bit. And have your blankets ready. So bolster underneath the backs of the legs. Legs drop out to the sides. And making sure the bolster is up towards the buttocks, but you're not actually sitting on it, right? And then lie down. Lift your chest up, let the shoulder blades go underneath. Palms of the hands facing up. So again, you can rest in Shavasana here. So either resting with your legs up the wall, Viparita Karani, or resting in Shavasana. completely release all the muscles, and also relax the muscles in your face, your jaw, your eyes, your cheeks. And feel your frown lines even melting down towards the floor. Okay, so either staying in Shavasana a little bit longer, or start to move your fingers and toes, gently rock your head from side to side, stretch your arms back behind your head if you've got some space, knees in towards the chest. You're going to roll to one side, stay on your side body, so let your head support your arms support your head on your side. And then press your hand into the floor to come back up to sitting. And find a comfortable sitting position. Keep your eyes closed if you can. And stay cozy with whatever it is you need to use. Take a few moments to reintegrate. Just allowing your practice to become a habit. So our muscles have a memory. And our body, with all the muscles and the nerves and the cells, bones. Once we repeat some of these things, they become just part of our everyday, our normal life. And our body starts to accept the practice. Through that acceptance of the practice, we start to feel a freedom arriving, even on a cellular level. So we will feel freedom in the muscles and the bones. We will also find perhaps a mental freedom, even a spiritual freedom. Nothing else, maybe just peace and rest, which are so important. hands together and hold your heart. And we'll finish by chanting 3 Ums together, and Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So first a deep breath in through the nose. Release your air out your mouth. Your inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace within, peace to each other, peace to the whole of existence. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, send me an email, send me a message on my social media, Lotus Pad Yoga. I'll see you next time.